So I think you have to agree with me that tonight this room is filled with great minds and thoughts, great leaders in a mission to create a better and healthier food world. We've already heard such amazingly inspiring things from so many people, and we're just getting started. Case in point, the two co-founders of Wholesome Wave, an organization that's dedicated to making fresh, locally grown fruits and vegetables accessible and affordable to all people, regardless of their income levels. Taking a groundbreaking approach, Wholesome Wave has subsidized federal food assistance and even incentivized recipients so that they can shop at local farmers markets. It's a mutually beneficial system for the farmers and the shoppers, which I'm sure you will hear something about. And its co-founders are visionaries in their own right. I have read the writings of Gus Schumacher for decades now and been inspired by them. Michel Nischan, I tasted his food first at a W Hotel, not very far from here, when he was breaking the mold of what you could expect in a hotel dining room, and I was blown away. We have since shared many times that we toiled together developing the Chefs Collaborative, bringing chefs together with local producers and helping them understand how to manage that kind of system. Michelle has certainly gone on to provide absolutely delicious and wonderful food in restaurants, but also for a broader group of people. I've been constantly inspired by not only his vision, but his enthusiasm. It's very infectious. So it's my absolute pleasure to introduce now Michel Nischan and Gus Schumacher.
Howdy. How's the pork? Is that all right? You start. I think this is how it works, man. We go like this. Okay, we pick this thing up that says Wholesome Wave.
Great.
That's you.
Great. Good evening, everybody. We are really thrilled. Rick, thank you for that very kind introduction.
Yeah, amen.
So great to see so many of you here. Many great friends here, and Michelle and I are really honored. Let's give Michelle another round for that great meal.
And Annie Quattrano, unbelievable.
She's going to come out a little later?
Yeah, she is going to come out, yeah. She's plating dessert.
Oh, can't be a dessert. Michelle.
Thanks, Gus. Anyway, it's interesting because just about the meal today, I was wearing the hat when I came down here of grass-fed beef. That hat didn't work out so well. So I had to make a couple of phone calls. And interestingly, after hearing a couple of the discussions today earlier, I really realized how far we've come because not being able to make the grass-fed beef work out, not because White Oak Pastures doesn't sell amazing grass-fed beef, but because our transportation debacle didn't allow all of it to make it here okay. I was able to pick up the phone and call Heritage Foods USA, which is based in Brooklyn, and get pasture-raised pork for tonight's dinner. That wouldn't have happened 10 years ago. It wouldn't have happened 15 years ago, and it wouldn't have even been a dream of a chef 20 years ago. So when we think about how far we've come to be able to pick up the phone 3 hours before a dinner and get a sustainably, humanely raised product here that you all could enjoy that could be cooked on time is just groundbreaking stuff. So we've come a long way, baby. To think that a north side neighborhood in Milwaukee, Wisconsin could grow enough food to sustain itself is something that would have just been considered ludicrous 20 years ago. Will Allen is a friend. He's just an incredible mentor to so many of us. Was a professional basketball player, a marketing executive, but he found his true calling as a farmer and is now highly sought after for his thinking and for his wisdom. He took a vacant garden on the north side of Milwaukee, located on a few acres in a working class neighborhood and turned it into a Garden of Eden using really amazing technology like plastic buckets, cardboard boxes, and worms. That's not in here, but it's true. Anyway, what began as Will's kind of like outlet for a farming habit that he just couldn't seem to quit really became a magnet for curious neighborhood locals who wanted to find out more about what it would be like to be a city farmer. And Will became their teacher and mentor. Today, Growing Power really stands as a beacon of hope for a healthier and more equitable food system for all. And it follows this three-pronged mission to grow food, to grow minds, and to grow community. And if you think about it, without those three things together, what do we really have? And it's dedicated to providing people in all communities access to that type of thinking, healthy, high-quality food, and to empower them with the knowledge of how to grow their own so they can take their own destiny into their hands. It's amazing. As word of Will's success and innovative technology in urban agriculture spread far and wide, his classroom of curious onlookers grew as well. He's really become an outspoken advocate for food policy reform in this country and, in fact, around the world. This guy travels more than Gus and I put together. I think it's amazing. How do you deal with that, Will? How's that working out, brother? It's driving me crazy, but he seems like he's getting younger every year, and I just feel older. Anyway, among his many honors, Will received a MacArthur Genius Award, one of only 2 farmers to receive that award, and that's really a distinguishing award. It's a remarkable, remarkable thing. All of the honors that are bestowed upon this guy and all the people that thank him, it seems like humility is a common thread tonight. I mean, Fred is an amazingly wonderful and humble man, no matter what he tells you. You know, Will is the same, and I just think it gives me and Gus, we've known him for some time, we just really admire this fine man. It gives us a tremendous pleasure to offer him the James Beard Sustainable Leadership Award. Will, come on up.
Well, this is kind of dangerous for me to make a 2-minute speech, as many of you know, but thank you very much, Gus and Michelle. This is really a great honor, and I really accept this honor, not just for myself, but for our organization, Growing Power, and all the folks around the country and around the world that are growing food for their communities. And really want to reiterate and add on to what Fred said. A lot of these unsung heroes are creating a new food system, because we know our current food system is broken, and we need to get back to those days where food was grown in our communities. Food was grown locally, and I believe the only way for us to end world hunger is really a sustainable food system that's locally grown. And to make that happen, we really need to have everybody at the table, what I call the Good Food Revolution table. We can no longer, 15 years ago, we wouldn't have had companies like Cisco, who's going to be honored here tonight, and Walmart's, and many of the other corporate companies that are now sitting at the Good Food Revolution table, folks in the medical community. We need everybody at the table to really make sure that everybody has access, like Fred said, to healthy, safe, affordable food, because it's really a social justice and a food justice. What we need to, it's really about food justice and social justice to make sure that everybody has access. Many people tonight will not have a meal tonight in America and around the world. So we need to make sure that happens, and the work that so many people are doing, not only the organizations like Growing Power that get honored, but many of those communities. As I travel around the country and work with those communities, there are really a lot of folks. And another thing that Fred says that I want to also add to, we've seen a change over the last few years in terms of who is actually doing this work and who wants to do this work. I think over 60% of the folks that are now involved in food security and food system work are under 40 years of age. So that's the big change, and that gives me great hope, because I'm kind of in the twilight of my career, and it gives me great hope to pass on to the next generation and to see what First Lady Michelle Obama has done in terms of the White House Garden and the Let's Move campaign. It's really engaged a lot of people of color who, for years, 15 years ago, I would go into communities and folks would say to me, "Why are you doing this slaves work?" I don't hear that anymore. Folks realize that we must eat healthier food to stem the high rates of diabetes and obesity and heart disease in our communities. So we've educated a lot of people. We need to continue to educate folks. Food is the one thing that brings everybody in this room together. The one common thread that we have to eat food to survive. So my thing has been, why not eat good food? Why not eat sustainable food? Why not use the food system, which I think is the most important thing in our lives, the thing that really grows communities, because everybody wants to live in these sustainable green communities. And as a matter of fact, every city today has a 2020 plan to become sustainable and green. And there's no way that's going to happen unless we have a strong food system. And the only way it's going to happen is if we work together. And one of the highlights of what we have to do in the next few months is get our 2012 food policy right. We have to make sure that this next food policy is done right, and that we get more funding into sustainable food. And that's only going to happen if people like you, all of us, speak up and call our senators and our Congress people to make sure that the money is put into more money is put into sustainable food production. Thank you very much. This is thanks James Beard Foundation for this honor. It means a lot to me. I couldn't have done it without my family, which my wife and my daughter are here tonight with me. They put up with a lot of shenanigans over the years in terms of the work that I've done. So thank you very much.